this stream, the showcast live stream. I'm trying something new. I've kind of been thinking of a new content strategy as of lately. Plenty going on in the world so far. Lots to talk about. Although there's plenty of, well, as of late, there isn't much news to talk about, but there's plenty of things to reflect back on, especially with it being the 2024, this year, the biggest year of our lifetimes. So, hold on. So yeah, it's been a slow period for content as of lately, aside from the whole Tucker Carlson interviewing Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Major congratulations to Tucker Carlson. He becomes the first American journalist to successfully fly over to Moscow, Russia, without being thrown in the slammer, whereas, you know, a previous American journalist that goes by the name of Snowden, but he was trying to collect some intel on Russia's military information, classified data, and Putin said, got you, you're not going anywhere. So that's how the cookie crumbles for him. So yeah, I don't have any particular talking points in mind, but I am just gonna be going on a whim and just talk about some stuff. Like I said, I've been thinking about, you know, a different type of content strategy. You know, I'm more of a creative. I have a creative mind, so I specialize with pre-recorded content, and then, you know, I edit some music and, you know, the thumbnail and, you know, the effects, all that stuff. That's how I thrive. That's my speciality, and that's short form content. And so far, I've had some traction, but not as much as I wanted. It's been my channel has been growing very slowly. Currently, I've reached over 500 subs, so that's a new milestone for this channel. Hopefully the growth will continue, even though this platform has been shadow banning me. I know there's guys in this space like your Nick Nimmin, your Roberto Blake, talk about, oh, you have to, if you have to grow your channel, you have to create content of value and be mindful of your thumbnail and create content that, but they neglect to mention the political censorship. Okay, if they can give advice on how we can maneuver around that, they'll be great. But I don't think they'll, you know, they're gonna be doing that. So we're gonna have to power through regardless. You know, we're gonna have to just power through regardless. So yeah, about my content strategy, I've been focusing on short form content and haven't been able to funnel in some loyal subscribers. I have like a very few familiar accounts that I see commenting on my videos on a consistent basis. Just very few, and I appreciate it. But now I want to experiment on long form content, because with long form content, it really helps you identify the hardcore, diehard subscribers. Because it's one thing for people to listen to you short form for like on a 5 or 10 minute video, and it's like, it's like, you know, short form and, you know, sporadic, but they quickly scroll by. Whereas with long form content, a person has to really sit there and invest for you for hours. And that's what I'm trying to do now. To see who is willing to take some time out of the day and invest in what I have to say for an hour plus, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Because the people that listen to you for hours, those are the people who really invest and they really get to know you, the content creator, personally. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to do now with this particular live stream. I'm not expecting like hundreds and hundreds of people to join in, but it's a test. It is I am testing this out. I am trying something new. But anyway, with that aside, I've been thinking lately, I am turning 30 years of age this year. I've had some free time to myself and I've been thinking back in high school, English class, the poems we did with comprehension, the English subjects, English. We did comprehension, we did literature, the poems. Now, there's certain poems that stood out even back then. With me, some of my former classmates, we used to discuss some of these poems, and they really hit deep. I can't exactly remember the names of the poems, but one poem in particular described, I think was named The Dull Weekend, where it was this middle-aged man. I know I said old man. This middle-aged man who is obviously in his middle-aged, and he has a son who is attending his sports weekend at school, and is sitting there on the stands watching, and he is reminiscing about his childhood when he was young, how life was back then compared to now, how he's lost communication with his former classmates, his childhood friends, and to this particular old man, the character in the poem, his life is now dull now that he's middle-aged and or older. Everything is just dull. Reminiscing about the past, how things no longer have the same exciting meaning or impact as it used to. He goes about his day-to-day life and he's just dull. It's like, oh, whatever. Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, it's just another day, another date on the calendar. Former friends from way back in the day, just like, oh, hi, and then carry on, lives his life raising his son. And even back then, it's easy to take it for granted, but that hits deep. Why? Because now some of us are beginning to feel that. We're starting to realize that. Some of it, to a degree. I'm at a point where now it's like there's a lot of people who I went to high school with that, you were close back then, but now you sort of grew apart. And it's not like there's some personal beef or animosity. No. After we finish high school, some of us go to university, some of us start families immediately. Congratulations to those. Some of them get married. Their responsibilities change. Their goals change. Their views on life, they change. Their priorities change. Because now they have a family, they have people dependent on them, the wife and the kids, if you're a man. Some people, they pursue their dreams. Some people, they aspire to be professional athletes, like yours truly. And some of us, things don't quite work out just as well as we like it to be, and we end up becoming somewhat, not bitter, but we're like disappointed. It's like we feel gutted. And congratulations to those who were able to make their dreams a reality by becoming professional athletes, professional musicians, um, mainstream TV hosts, presenters, etc. Okay? And you begin to realize that, there's certain things that we used to value back in high school because we're young and goofy, and that now some of us are age 30, we're like, wow, this quick? We're really age 30, we're really 30 years of age now. It's like, life goes by so fast. As if it was just yesterday that, I was, sitting in the class of in high school and in university. I went to university and I graduated in public relations and communications. And although that wasn't my first choice go-to subject, I wanted to study multimedia. I wanted to go into the video game design industry, 3D animation design, cartoon artistry, that industry, right? Film production, but things didn't quite work out. And a lot of us have plenty of endeavors that never quite worked out. Yeah, that's just how life is. So that poem I talked about, it really hits deep because some of us are actually getting to experience it. Now, for some of us, we have social media, right? So we get to see some of these people, their updates. We get to, it's no longer as in back in those days. I don't really value high school reunions because in my mind, I'm like, look, I don't care about you ninjas. You made fun of me back then. I don't care about you now. Okay? So I don't miss you. Okay? Now some of them, like I have seen them in passing here and there, and I'm genuinely happy to see them because it's like, although I see on Facebook or on Instagram, but meeting you in person for the first time in a little over a decade, it's like, wow, hey, how's it going, right? And we have a little we share some small talk. And just to update each other. Oh, so where have you been? How have you been doing? Oh, we're doing this, and some of us we lie, we prop ourselves up. Oh yeah, I'm in CEO of this particular company. I run. I'm a manager and founder of Apple or Samsung. Good times. But that's how it is. But we are the first generation that gets to we have social media. We still get to see people's updates in real time, and they get to see my updates in real time. It's unlike in the past, where the previous generations where they didn't have social media. The only time they saw each other was either in real life or that's it. So yeah. Speaking of, I have since joined the redpill community, the Manosphere. Okay, and I actually joined the Manosphere I got exposed to the actual redpill Manosphere, the content creators, back in 2016. That was my first year in university. I started late. I should have started in 2013. But anyway, that's a different story. I digress. But actually, teaching and espousing red pill talking points on the internet, I actually started way earlier, say back in 2013. Okay? That's why I just started questioning the world. And ever since then, I've lost people. People have been unfriending me little by little because, NPCs, they're programmed and They've been programmed to reject reality. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose real quick. I'll be back. Excuse me. I actually started doing this whole red pill thingy before I was exposed to the red pill on Facebook blogs. I say that, yo, listen, women belong in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, okay? And the NPCs, the people who are in my friends list at the time, they didn't take too kindly of that because, like I said, the programmable NPCs, bots of the system. And obviously, I started Facebook in 2013, and when I was just posting like, oh, me, selfie, me having picnic with the family, I used to get plenty of likes and engagement. But as soon as I started spewing red pill narratives, yeah, the engagement decreased. I got into more back and forths in the comment section, and that's how I knew, man, that this is where I need to be. The red pill, I didn't choose the red pill. The red pill chose me. Because look, I don't belong in groups. I do not belong in social groups. I am not meant to be in social gatherings full of NPCs and bots, okay? Because something weird always ends up going haywire. And it's almost like NPCs, they sniff me out. They're like, he's a real one. He's a red pill. And then they start doing all these acts of sabotage in various forms. So, for example, when was this? In my final year of university. This was in 2019, or second, because I spent 4 years in university. My third year in university. This was in 2019. I was kicked out of my athletics group because I was playing rugby and I also participated in athletics. And we had this WhatsApp group where we shared memes of various things, okay? And this one time, I shared a marriage wheel meme. Coach Greg Adams, he shares this a lot. The marriage wheel, the cycle where the man meets woman, man gets married and have kids with woman, and then it goes around, and then wife cheats on husband, and then husband gets screwed and gets extorted, loses everything through the child. I shared that meme on the group, on the WhatsApp group, and my coach, who was raised by a single mother, didn't take too kindly of that. He was like, Muso, your views, I don't like your views on women because they're toxic and whatnot, and he kicked me out the group. And fast forward a day later, I am guessing because him kicking me out of the group was him being in his fifi feelings, like a sissified ninny, a single mother raised sissy boy. And then fast forward a day later, because I was like, okay, fine, that was my ticket out of there. I was willing to leave. I was like, screw it, I'm not coming back. And then a day later, he offered to bring me back, and I was like, no. You made a decision, I'll stick to it. And I remember uttering those exact words. Because he messaged me on WhatsApp, like, oh, would you like me to I was like, no. Be a man about your stuff. Be a man of your actions and stick to it. Don't flip-flop back and forth. See, this is a problem of most men of today. They're very sneaky. They're very effeminate. They're full of estrogen. They operate just exactly like women. If you're going to do something, then stick to it. Don't flip-flop back and forth. Why? Because that's what women do. That's what women do. Be a man about your actions. Be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. Don't now do something. This is why they say never make decisions out of pure emotions, because you're going to regret it later. And I taught that lesson. The student taught the coach. And me and my coach were relatively the same age. That was my final lesson, me imparting my lesson onto him, my parting gift to him, a lesson in masculinity. Don't go back on your word. You did this. You made your own bed. Now stew in your own muck. And it was a loss on his part, on their part, because, not to sound cliche, but I was his strongest athlete. Now look what happened. You just got rid of your athletes, your best athletes. I was the fastest. I was his best athlete. Purely, now you just made an emotional decision. Now you're not starting your best athlete. Smooth move, dude. And we've never said anything since. I just left quietly. I continued to finish my studies in my final year, and I graduated, and here I am now, doing redpill Manosphere content. Speaking of thingy, congratulations to Tucker Carlson. Like I said, coming back to Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson being fired from Fox News, it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. Because I doubt they would have allowed Tucker Carlson to move how he moves now, or to go to Russia and interview the supposed bad man, the boogeyman, Vladimir Putin. I doubt Fox News would have allowed Tucker Carlson to do that, because now every industry in the world is now, assimilated by the ops, the Agent Smiths. They've all gone left, they've all gone woke, and it's only Fox News that's hanging by a thread. Shout out to Greg Gutfeld. They thought they were sabotaging Tucker Carlson by firing him. And it actually turned out to be the best thing that happened to him. Why? Because people like Andrew Tate and Tucker Carlson have truth on their side. And when you have truth on the side, you can't be destroyed, at least not completely. They can damage you, but they can't completely destroy you. And even upon them destroying you, they're only making you stronger. They're only making the resistance stronger. So shout out to Tucker Carlson. I saw Chris Wallace, these rhinos, these Republicans in name only, throwing hate and over at CNN talking about, oh, Tucker Carlson, he's a puppet of Vladimir Putin. Really? This is what the Matrix does. This is what these Agent Smiths do. They project. Because they say that, oh, people like Zelensky should be asked tough, hard-hitting questions. Where so far I've seen these American journalists interviewing Ukrainian President Zelensky, and they've been asking nothing but soft-balled questions, such as, Mr. Zelensky, how does it feel as a human to have people depend on you, and stuff like, oh, well, so by the way, what's your favorite music? Oh, what? Is that what they consider tough questions? This is what they do. They project. Whatever it is that they project on the enemy that they're guilty of, they themselves are guilty of just that. And Tucker Carlson went over to Russia, and he actually asked substantial questions, such as, why are you doing this? And Vladimir Putin, although I watched the interview, I kind of fell asleep, with him speaking in Russian and having the translator, and him giving a 30-minute winded history lesson, it was necessary. It was very much necessary. But overall, yeah, the interview wasn't as exciting as I anticipated. It was more along the lines of boring. But it was a much needed one. Okay? So Putin got a chance to explain his side of the story. And shout out to Tucker Carlson, because I was kind of worried they were going to shoot down Tucker Carlson's plane on his way back home to the United States. And we're going to see articles like, oh, it is with great regrets that American journalist Tucker Carlson lost his life because his plane went down due to unfortunate weather circumstances, so therefore his plane went down. You see? Hashtag Tucker didn't kill himself. But fortunately, he's back home, safe and sound and alive. Okay? He's back home, safe and sound and alive. And that's a win. Okay? Because, the Matrix, they don't want the other side to explain this. Look, we all know what Vladimir Putin does. We want to hear the why he does, because it's the why that determines that justifies or unjustifies a person's actions. Just like in schools. In schools, they taught us that the small mustache guy, he deleted a bunch of J's because they say that, in the textbooks, in the history, in school textbooks, the curriculums, they taught us that the small mustache guy blamed economic downfall on the J's. Now notice the framing. They always lie by omission. They'll give you the story, but they'll omit vital, crucial, critical elements of the story. And them taking out those crucial elements changes the paradigm of the whole story, the whole narrative. So instead of them saying the small mustache guy, the small mustache guy blamed the Jays on economic downfall, what they should have said is the Jays were engaging in certain activity that led to Germany's economic downfall. Do you see how that changes the paradigm? So in one instance, they're saying, oh, the small mustache guy, just out of his own hatred and his own hateful, dark heart, he just blamed the Jays on economic downfall for no reason. Oh, he just hated the Jays. Instead of framing it as it is, the Jays were engaging in certain activity that led to Germany's economic downfall. Small parts they leave out. One piece of the puzzle. One missing piece of the puzzle, changes the whole story. So it's the why. I'm not saying it's right what he did to, deleting a bunch of Jays in concentration camps. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that the why. We should always look at a person's why. We all know the what they did, but let us have a chance for them to explain their why. And let the people decide for themselves whether it's justified or unjustified. Let the people make up their own minds. But no, the CNN pundits, oh no, they didn't want to interview Vladimir Putin. They didn't want Tucker Carlson to give Putin a platform. They called Tucker Carlson a puppet thingy, but they are the exact same puppets when it comes to interviewing Vladimir Zelensky, of which I heard Zelensky is a J himself. He's an Agent Smith, or what Angry Man calls him, the small hat people. Coach Greg Adams calls them the you-know-who people. I'm not going to say what race or people. We know you can say that. When you play the soundbite. Kanye West saying that I'm not gonna say what race of people. I can't say that. Hey, listen, in 2024, everything that was once in the darkness shall now come into the light. Shout out to Cap Williams for completely breaking the internet over at Club Shay Shay's podcast, Shannon Sharp, exposing Hollywood. And I like the part, my favorite part of the interview, where he said that, look, a lot of these people that, they just pushed up immediately, like skyrocket fame in no time, well, they're given a clause where they say, when we want to take it down, we can do that, don't you? Right? You do understand if you want to take it down, you can do that, right? And that's what happened with Jonathan Majors. Got pushed up so quick, so fast in Hollywood, in our faces, being promoted, being pushed up and promoted. And they decided, no, we want to take you down by all means possible, by all means necessary and unnecessary. And that's what happened. An unfair, unjustful ruling in the court system. Folks, the Matrix doesn't play fair. They don't need to play fair. Why would they play fair where they control everything? They don't have to. They don't have to. So we have, Cat Williams coming out and, exposing Hollywood. And, wow, that interview, I think now it's past 15 million views on YouTube. And congratulations to Shannon Sharp. I just wish that some of these celebrities would acknowledge us instead of stealing some of our talking points. Oh yeah, Coach Greg Adams, he exposed how Shannon Sharp actually watches his videos and he steals some of his material. But I understand these people are not allowed to mention our names. I mean, it goes against, their protocol. I understand, but it wouldn't hurt to, throw certain hints out there. Just throw a thingy, a little dog bone and say, hey, listen, shout out from so-and-so. Okay? Because otherwise, that's plagiarism. Congratulations to Coach Greg Adams. He had Governor Ron DeSantis use some of his lingo during his Republican debate. I saw that, I was like, Coach Gang going places, going to Republican debates, reaching the Republican debates. Ron DeSantis used the word mealy mouth. Coach Greg Adams used the terminology a lot. Who else has been quoted by a celebrity? Anthony Brian Logan has been quoted by Kanye West. When Anthony Brian Logan uses the pandemic, ABL played a small excerpt of Kanye West using his catchphrase. Okay, so hey, listen, congratulations, guys. You guys are making strides. It shows that you guys are making impact. Speaking of making an impact, all these guys, all these prominent figures on the internet, they're all American, okay? Andrew Tate, Tucker Carlson, Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, Fresh and Fit, Nico. Shout out to these guys, but the reason why I'm going so hard, I'm so passionate about what I do is because South Africa is also a dark horse, okay? We got talent as well, such as yours truly, MrShowTym, aka the Great Showtadamus, okay? And I've been trying so hard to network with some of these guys, as I've said before. I've been trying so hard to get a hold of, a lot of the guys in the Manosphere to familiarize myself to them, to apprentice myself to them, because they are my predecessors. Okay. I've been working a lot with Chaotic Truth lately. I've been jumping on his podcast, so I'm really trying my hard to broaden my horizons by appearing in some of the guys' podcasts and make myself known. And speaking of impact, I believe I am a dark horse in this space because out of most podcasts I've jumped on, I make an impact. I know how to make an impact. And I'm not saying, okay, fine, you might say I'm being modest, fine, whatever, but still, you can just see some of the reactions of some of these people. When I come on, it is clear and kind of obvious MrShowTym is here. They're like, oh, snap. You know why? Because the world, especially Americans, they have this stereotypical view of Africa as if it's a country. And I don't know how many times I have to tell them that we're not a country, we are a continent that consists of different countries, and we are different. And South Africa is a first world country. Now, some of them dumbass ninjas, they're like, oh, that's not true. You guys are riding elephants and busy sleeping with lions and playing with monkeys. They didn't exactly say that, but I'm being hypothetical, being comical. They still have the stereotypical view of Africans. And I'm a shining light to sort of like shatter these perceptions and show that South Africa is actually like a dark horse in the world. And I think I'm the perfect figure to do that. Just wait until this channel blows through the roof. Speaking of, like I said, if I'm gonna make impacts, I need to work with some of these people. I need to engage with some of these people. I need, a helping hand. Like I said, all these guys are American, and I've been trying so hard to fly our South African flag high and proud the best way that I can. The best way that I can, and represent my country well. Do you know what's funny? I've realized that with regards to this whole red pill thingy, not just red pill, just in terms of going viral, in terms of being promoted in the algorithm, in this YouTube space, in the internets, have you noticed? And I'm not throwing shots. I am not throwing shots, okay? So if this applies to some of the people that I'm going to mention, look, no disrespect. I'm not saying you are, I'm not saying you aren't. I'm just expunging what we've seen out there. So this is not my opinion. Have you noticed that the people that tend to have like these high numbers, and it's very prominent in Hollywood as well, it's people that have been alleged with either video or photographic evidence of them engaging in some, Coach Greg Adams refers to them as those who have a little too much sugar in their pockets, if you know what I mean. Skittles. Them engaging in some form of cuckoldry. Them have pictures exposed of them sleeping in the same bed with men. Or them just being, alleged to be, of the Skittles community. You know Skittles, right? Skittles are colorful. Which marginalized and protected community has a bunch of colors in it? A demographic that you're not allowed to criticize. That group, okay? Have you noticed? It's usually those type of people that are suspect. I'm not saying they are, but also Abba and Preach have been alleged to be, to have a little too much sugar in their pockets. Preach himself has, they do these shows, these stand-up comedy shows, and Preach, and we've seen Preach in this tight-fitting onesie, these tights and, you know, acting a little too flamboyant for comfort. And it's like, look at Destiny. Destiny, I don't even need to like Destiny. Destiny is obvious, okay? He himself has admitted he's off that ilk, the Skittles ilk. He has too much sugar in his pocket, engaging in, you know, these alternative type of lifestyles. Sneeko has made a video saying that he has an ex-girlfriend that he likes to watch getting pounded in the sack, cuckoldry. And these people have like these astronomical number of subscribers and views, and they get up on these IRLs and they just sit there and just talk about nothing, and they get like these massive amount of views. I'm like, the hell? But maybe that's the cheat code. I'm not saying I am. No, not for me. Not for me. I'm just saying that it has to be YouTube politics when it comes to who certain people network with. For example, have you ever wondered why does Angry Man at this point? Angry Man is one of the original founders of the Manosphere, and he has excellent talking points. A lot of people use Angry Man's talking points. Even I use it. I use some of Angry Man's lingo, some of his catchphrases. Straggle daggle. Brittany Renner has used the term straggle in one of her Instagram videos. You can't tell me that she's not watching us. Of course she watches us. Where do you think she gets the word straggle from? The Angry Man, Coach Greg Adams, they watch us. Maybe not me in particular, not yet. But come on, these people watch us. So Angry Man being a prominent figure in the space, I have respect for Angry Man. I've criticized Angry Man because, you know, you're not always going to agree with everyone. But look, Angry Man has earned his colors, respectfully so. My salutes to the Angry Man. But have you ever wondered, how come Angry Man never gets invited over to Valuetainment, the Saucecast, Fresh and Fit? Huh? How come Angry Man never gets invited to these other podcasts? These Fresh and Fit ripoffs, whatever podcast. How come Angry Man, he's just over there doing his own thing? He's made it known that he wants to join on a podcast. He wants to be interviewed by other guys to, you know, help him, you know, grow his numbers and get some clout. He deserves it. But Angry Man himself, he's proven to be, you know, a real one. He's a real one. And what does the Matrix tend to shy away from? The real ones. Meanwhile, we have Fresh and Fit, they get invited everywhere. And like I said, Marion himself is, you know, there's pictures that came out, resurfaced on the internet of him being in bed with, you know, guys. Now, he has given his own explanation, like, look, we're just having fun. We just came out from, you know, the rowing contest, and he was just like, there were just a bunch of guys just shooting the breeze, having fun. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that it is there's a pattern here. Myron, if you're watching this, no disrespect to you, but listen, we cannot deny that there's a pattern here of some people that have been alleged to have too much sugar in their pockets. They tend to have some YouTube success. They get invites, they get pushed up in the algorithm, they have other channels doing reactions out of on them. And then the real ones, oh no, they pretend like we don't exist. Coach Greg Adams himself, he's had like 1 or 2 invites. Okay, shout out to Adam Sosnick. He's had him over debating Hafiz. But that's about it. That's about it. And a lot of people use Coach Greg Adams' catchphrases. I use them himself. For example, Coach Greg Adams, CGA, has come up with a new funny word. Duke shooters. He said, "No, I don't want to play. I don't want to react to no Duke shooters." Because Dookie, fudge, backdoor action. Dookie shooters. So yeah, man, I've seen a pattern here. The real ones, they tend to they tend to pretend like we don't exist. They don't want to give us our flowers. Why? YouTube politics. Even Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, they would much rather go to whatever Michael knows YouTube. They would much rather go over to whatever podcast ripped off straight from Fresh and Fit. And whatever podcast now has, I think they have 2 million more subscribers than Fresh and Fit. I think they're currently sitting at 3.5 million subs. Fresh and Fit is sitting at 1.8, 1.9, somewhere there. And Fresh and Fit have been going viral and they've been doing some work. They've been flying over to UK, doing interviews with Andrew Tate. They have more impact. And they actually go above and beyond and talk about certain topics that, are taboo in this YouTube space, such as the JQ. Hosted Nick Fuentes. I mean, Fresh and Fit has made more of an impact than whatever podcast. What does whatever podcast did? Ripped and copied and pasted straightly from Fresh and Fit. They use the exact blueprint. But Ben Shapiro would much rather go to them. You know why? I don't want to be this guy, but whatever podcast is a safer white version of Fresh and Fit. Less controversial, a little bit more blue-pilled compared to Fresh and Fit. Now, Fresh and Fit, they go hard in the paint. Now, some of these tradcons, they can't afford to smear their image in the bad light by associating themselves with Fresh and Fit. I understand their rules of engagement. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand the why. It's still messed up, though. Come over to Fresh and Fit and let us challenge you. Okay? The only thing I agree with the tradcons is when it comes to marriage. Now, Fresh and Fit, they have a whole different take on marriage. Myron Gaines himself talks about how men need to sleep with at least 50 women first before getting married. Because these women out there are 304s. I'm sorry, Myron. I have given you your flowers. I have given you respect. But this is where you and I, we butt heads. I thought the Red Pill Manosphere is about, advocating for men's rights. Not only that, but teaching the Red Pill and saving the world. Being on some pro-life, conservative, traditional values. To save the world, right? And to advocate for men's rights. But now, you're saying that you're giving terrible advice, Myron. Myron Gaines, you're giving terrible advice. You say that men need to sleep with at least 50 women to understand how women are in this modern day and age, because women are 304s. I'm sorry. Here's the caveat. You say that men need to sleep with at least 50 women. Those men, first of all, most men will never even get an opportunity to have at least 7 sexual partners in their lifetimes. You're not only talking about 10, 20, no, you're ramping it at such a high number as 50? There's more to that. Aren't you supposed to be busy in life? Don't you have things to do in life? Who has time to try and get 50 women to sleep with? Don't you have a life? And on top of that, even upon those men who end up let's say, for example, most men, they have the opportunity to sleep with 50 women, which is an outrageous number. Aren't you what about the ramifications? What about the after effects? Are you not leaving a whole slew of broken alpha widowed females who are heartbroken because these men just wanted to use them like a ragdoll toilet paper? Now these 50 women are now left, behind on their tracks. women who are broken, women who have become 3 or 4s. The same women that you claim that are a problem. You are propagating the problem, Myron. But of course you disagree. Terrible advice. Terrible advice. Absolutely terrible. Most men will never even have an opportunity to get to sleep with 10 women unless they go to, a certain joint and they pay for it, strippers and whatnot. 50? Most men will never even get 10 women. You're not only talking about 20, not 30, no, 50. And you're saying at least, if I'm not mistaken. Terrible advice. You are propagating the problem that you claim you want to fix, instead of telling men that, look, get married sooner than later. And same goes for you too, Pearly. Oh, don't get married. I would never. I wouldn't freaking dare. As much as the laws are messed up in the Western hemispheres with the laws and the child support thing and the divorce laws, and I know. But some of y'all, and you too, CGA, Coach Greg Adams, and you too, Angry Man, and you too, Anton Daniels, respect to you guys. This is a respectful critique. I think it's healthy if I can respect my predecessors but have a healthy critique. You guys you guys saying that, oh, we need to wait for the laws to change first and then we can have, oh, look, y'all will be skeletons by the time the law changes. You know why? Because the Matrix, the Agent Smiths, they understand, how do you break down a nation? You break down the nuclear family. How do you do that? You come up with all these unjustful, unfair laws when it comes to marriage and divorce and whatnot, child support. And now you counting on them to change the laws? Why would they? MrShowTym says, look, do not let the Agent Smiths win. Because now you're giving in by saying, oh, no marriage until the laws change. It'll be a cold day. You'll be skeletons. You'll have turned into skeletons by the time the laws change. So I say, what about preaching agency on people? Tell people to act right. It's one thing to give people these methods, steps on how to ensure a healthy, successful marriage. Look, folks, we're all consenting adults here. If people no longer have the mental wherewithal to act right and actually manage their relationships and marriages well, by their own fruition, out of their own agency, then there's nothing we can do. If people have not become so childish, they can't even marry, they can't even manage just getting along with someone in a healthy relationship for at least 2 decades, then look, there's nothing we can do. But I'm not going to sit here and say, don't get married. Oh, hell no. It goes against the Bible. It goes against, I know some of y'all want to use that. Well, some of us are not religious, MrShowTym. Okay, fine. Even without the religious aspect, still, a marriageless society is a broken society. I was raised with a two-parent household with both my mother and father. Still married till this day. Fine, our generation, people have gone cuckoo. Okay, they're screwed up in the noggin. Fine, but it's the people's responsibility to act right. We can't save people. We can't spoon feed people. At some point, we can give advice on, look, don't simp for your wife. We can give all this advice. Look, stop. Don't be a beta male simp. And look, take charge in your marriage. There's no guarantees, okay? In guaranteeing a marriage that will last. Look, sometimes things happen. People separate, and it is what it is. We cannot micromanage people. And Anchorman, I have a critique of your book, The Angry Man Standard. Because in your book, you talk about, I haven't read your book, I haven't purchased it, forgive me. But you have yourself, verbally, you stated how in your book, the Angry Man Standard, there's a chapter where you talk about how a man should vet a woman before he turns her into a wife. You say that a man should date a woman for 2 years. Forgive me if I'm not technically 100% correct, but just get the gist. You say that a man should engage a woman for 7 years. 7-year engagement. And then after the 7-year engagement, a man should have like a probation period for 5 years. And after the 5 years, have 2 extra years of probation just to ensure that she's really a ride or die, and then only married. My goodness, if I was a woman, I would spit on your face. I would spit on any man's face with that kind of advice. Because you are eroding away a woman's agency, and that is her youth, her age. So what if a couple meets each other at age 22? Now you're saying they should be engaged, an engagement period for like 7 years. So age 22 plus 7, that's age 29. So now they're age 29. The woman is age 29. She's almost 30, and then the man should have a probation period, vetting period for 5 years. So that's 29 plus 5. She should be around 34 years of age. And only then they should get married? What if it doesn't work out regardless? What then? What was the point of all that time wasting? Literal time wasting. No, MrShowTym disapproves. CGA, you too. I'm throwing your monkey ass in the slammer too. I understand, CGA, that you've been burnt in your marriage. It's totally out of your control. But now you sound across as someone who's... Look, I don't mean to disrespect you, CGA, but look, because of your marriage didn't work out, you can't now say to other people, don't get married. You can't now tell other people because you got burnt in the marriage realm, oh no, don't get married. You know there's a saying that says misery loves company. Again, I can't stress this enough. No disrespect, but we are a brotherhood in the Red Pill Manosphere. We have to have an open and honest discussion and critique. Let us critique each other. I know you disagree. You might see this video like, oh, screw this, MrShowTym. I'm never... Look, like I said, no disrespect, but no. This demoting marriage? Absolutely not. Because the long-term ramification is, look, the more you say you tell people not to get married, the more the agent Smiths, the Matrix, are sitting there, they're like, yeah, now you're promoting our agenda. Now we're winning. Ergo, Gen Z, they're not getting married. Gen Alpha, they're not getting married. And we have a broken society. Can't have that. I'm going to stand in your way any day, all day. Anything that goes against, anything that promotes the breakdown of society, I'm going to stand in your way as I am now. And I'm calling it out. Folks, get married sooner than later. Is it perfect? Are we stuck in a rut? Marriage is under siege. I acknowledge that. But to tell people not to get married, no. That's wrong. Tell people to advocate for people to get married and act right. People want to talk about hypergamy, and look, Some of y'all came up with good concepts such as, listen, tell your wife to get off social media. Shout out to Mr. Locario and his friend Miles Cunningham. Tell your wife to get off social media. For starters. Why? Because women are curious creatures, curious cats. They're out there and, they're always fishing for the BBD, the bigger, better deal. That's why I said, when Mr. Locario said, listen, it's not just Mr. Locario, Donovan Sharp too. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. He said, look, don't let your girlfriend have social media. Tell her to get off. She doesn't need it. Now you have Sims talking about, oh, but what about if she has a business, an online business thingy, and she needs to funnel clientele online? No. First of all, women who do that, they're not making a living off of that anyway. Okay? They're making peanuts off of that business anyway. As a man, that's why I, as a man, have the responsibility to ensure that I have enough money to take care of both of us. I know you want to bring up the whole inflation arguments. Look, I get it. But just understand the concept. Just bear with me here. This is why, as a high-value man, you should have two jobs, multiple streams of income to ensure that your wife doesn't need to have an online business where she can easily cheat on you. Now she's not allowed to have any social media except for WhatsApp. She can keep WhatsApp just to communicate with her friends and family, but because WhatsApp is not a video sharing, photo sharing platform. I know it's updating, it's changing, it's morphing into something else, but conceptually, WhatsApp is okay. Okay? So yeah, folks, pray. Stop telling people not to get married. Because you're doing exactly what the Matrix wants. And that's the breakdown of the nuclear family. Isn't it ironic? You guys complain about, oh, there's 304s and there's people come from broken homes, but you at the same time you're advocating for broken homes. Single parent broken homes. Myron. When these guys sleep with 50 women, don't you think that these guys are going to catch some sort of disease? Don't you think they're going to accidentally knock a woman up? Huh? Aren't you creating 304s yourself? Come on now. Yes to marriage. Get married sooner than later. As soon as possible. Ladies, if you are 18, you should already have your eye on some sort of guy to get married. Because on a fair level, you're 18, you're just finishing school. And even if you go to college or university, university is your biggest pawn you'll ever have to find a suitable partner. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. But you modern females, you modern women of today, you'll go for these basket weaving degrees, and because you're strong and independent, I don't need no man. You waste away 3-4 years in university, and then now you're outside in the corporate realm. Now you are an empowered woman, bitter feminist who's single and lonely, who owns a cat or a dog. Say yes to marriage. Marriage stabilizes society. Get married sooner than later. Myron, a guy doesn't need to sleep with 50 women to understand that, oh, she's a 304. I can simply go to her social media and see by the type of photos she posts that, okay, that's a 304. I can see by how she interacts with an average guy, whether she has respect for the average man, whether or not she's worth a damn. Whether or not she's worth it. I don't need to hump a female, 50 of them, to realize that finally comes to the conclusion, oh, you're a 304. I didn't see it before. I didn't see it when I slept with 10 women, not 20 women, no, not 49 women. I needed that, after the 49th woman. No, it's still not enough. I need to get to that 50. And it's only up until I got to the 51st woman. Now the light bulb came on. Oh, now I understand women. Do you see how asinine that sounds, Myron? Come on, lads. You're better than this. You're better than this. That's my biggest critique of our brotherhood. But everything else, pretty much everything else, we're good. We're sweet and dandy. I just wanted to clarify that. So yeah, what else? What else is on the menu of today of talking points? Look, so yeah, man, I'm South African, okay? Look, understand this. Andrew Tate, I don't know what it is about Andrew Tate that he wanted to go to Europe, third world communist countries, for him to escape, because I know his situation. He used to get swatted over there in the United States because of these allegations. Although we cannot say for certain whether he's guilty or innocent, but I'm leaning towards, this is a witch hunt. So he went over to Europe in Romania to avoid these criminal charges, right? Because the laws are different over there. But did he ever bet on the fact that if, as much as he can escape certain shenanigans, did it ever dawn on him that, the inverse can happen? They can turn on him and mistreat him, throwing him in the dungeon, or as I like to call it, in the slammer, without charge for like 3 months. Interesting. Understand this. If you had come here to South Africa, what happened to you would have never happened. And by the way, look, the Andrew Tate arrest is the closest thing to an action movie, sci-fi movie occurrence ever. Him being, the SWAT team, sorry, not SWAT, DICOT, kicking down his door, and prior to that, the pizza box, him going back and forth to Greta Thunberg and, the pizza box. They say they identified him with they tracked him using the pizza box, the logo, the company logo. That's how. I don't believe that, because, because Andrew Tate was in Dubai, and he said that he needs to grab some things in Romania to make a quick stop by, and he was going to leave the following day. And look, the Romanian justice system, the government, they know who checks into the country immediately upon entering the gateway, the airport gateway. So they knew. Okay, it's not like they didn't know he was there. They didn't need the pizza box. But you know how people are on the internet, they always want to blow things out of proportion to make it more comical than it is. But even then, man, the way the whole thing played out was the closest thing to a sci-fi movie. And it was like, wow. I saw the headlines on CNN, and I was like, what is this? What is this? This has to be a movie. Has to be. But yeah, man, that was the closest thing to a movie I've ever seen. Okay? So that was the closest thing. But look, understand something. The world doesn't understand. South Africa, stop stereotyping us because we're an African country. Now that means automatically we're a third world country. You might ask many South Africans themselves, they go off with the programming, this low self-esteem programming. Up until you really think a third world country operates like, okay, you look at certain elements, the infrastructure, the development, okay, the level of infrastructure, the ways of everyday living, the modern conveniences of everyday living. You look at the constitutional setup, okay? South Africa, we have multiple modes of transport. We have the train station, we have the bus system, we have the freeway, we have air travel, we have airlines companies, multiple. South African Airways, Kulula.com, Lufthansa. Okay, I think. Okay, we have modern infrastructural development. We have modern conveniences when it comes to our day-to-day living. We use takealot.com, which is very similar to Amazon. We do have Amazon as well, but here in South Africa we have our own version of Amazon. It's called takealot.com. We have supermarkets, mini markets, mega malls, world-class renowned mega malls. We have cars, we import, we export. Come on, we have the Bill of Human Rights. We have the thingy. Our constitution is set up pretty much exactly like the United States, how it is in the United States. Maybe one or two minor differences when it comes to gun rights, because we don't have mass shootings. Wink, wink. We've never assassinated our presidents. Wink, wink. But these Americans, such as your Lauren Southern, they come here and say, oh, South Africa is a dangerous hellhole. We don't have mass shootings here, Lauren. We've never assassinated our presidents. We don't have these incels doing mass shootings because they can't get a girlfriend. Reference Elliot Rogers, Jeffrey Donham, and other documentaries that have been made about these, and these serial killers. And also, we don't fly airplanes into our twin towers, into our buildings. Okay? Game, recognize game. Better recognize, better ask somebody. Stop underestimating us, stop stereotyping us. We are a first world republic, just like you. And just because we are in Africa, it doesn't mean that now we're swinging on vines like baboons and monkeys, and we shape. I can walk up to all the way to Ghana for the weekend and give my friend Obasanjo a banana and say, here you go. And then I tippy toe back down to the south, thousands of kilometers. Stop. This is why I've asked a lot of Americans, how much do you know about South Africa? And they're like, oh, well, not a lot. There you go. Do some more research. You guys been you ninjas got all the way messed up. But yeah, anyway, I'm very interested in what's thingy. I've come across some new content creators also. True Geordie. Apparently, he's an enemy of Andrew Tate. And CLR, the criminal lawyer, Bruce Rivers. I saw their videos. They got recommended to me on YouTube. The videos where they were talking about Andrew Tate's arrest. I like True Geordie's accent. I can't tell whether he's Scottish or Irish. Okay? He's talking about, Andrew Tate, he so-called predicted that he was going to get arrested because he himself, he knows that he was up to no good. You a neomate. Okay? I can't predict that I'm going to be arrested if I know myself that I've been up to no good. You following? Hey man, shout out to True Geordie. Okay, I know you guys are beefing with Andrew Tate and going back there. That's your business. Also, Bruce Rivers. These people are operatives. You see, they come on the internet, they placate and they display as if we're just gonna have a neutral stance on the Trump trial over in about the RICO case and the documents, classified document, and same goes for you too, Piers Morgan. And they just inevitably show their hand that they're not fair. They are biased, okay? At any time where they can choose to sympathize with these guys, you Andrew Tate and Donald Trump, their rhetoric it's almost like they're glad that they're facing the criminal charges that they're facing. Bruce Rivers is busy making fun of Elena Haba. Miss Alina Haba. Haba, 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 haba. Look, I can acknowledge that maybe Trump's defense lawyer, attorney, she made some mistakes when it came to her trying to present, didn't go about the right way in presenting evidence in court. Fine, a small misstep, but they take that and they run with it. Same goes for you too, Pierce. That, look, I believe I can hold my own against Piers Morgan in a debate. It wouldn't be easy. It would not be easy, but I'm pretty sure I can hold my own. Because I know Piers Morgan's tactics. He tries so hard to catch you in this aha moment and he talks over you. And he tries to get you to paint yourself in the corner, to apologize, just like how you tried to do with Kanye West. And I'm like, dude, I know your tactics. And it's so sad because I used to like Piers. I used to trust Piers. Because while he was on the Good Morning Britain, you know, he used to challenge the vegan community, the thingy, the LGBTQ. But now, this is what I've noticed about these Agent Smiths. Because Piers Morgan is yet another Agent Smith of the system. They'll try to hook you by, you know, they'll challenge the vegan community, the weirdos of society, the feminists. But when it comes to these serious topics, Israel or Hamas, Andrew Tate, is he guilty or innocent? Trump, is he thingy? Yeah. That's where now they're like, okay, now they are pro the other side. The antagonists. Yeah. They are serving the matrix. Hey, look. If you've been watching this far, you are a true showman. This is what I call my loyal subscribers, my showmen. We show off. Okay? Reference because, you know, MrShowTym, showman, right? You are my fellow showman. Okay? I want to have like this merch where I have like this. I want to sell merch. I want to sell golf tees. And look, my dream is to have like a partnership, to be a brand ambassador. You know how Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a partnership with Under Armour and he has his own brand and they go hand in hand. My favorite brand is Adidas, all day. Okay? And Adidas, if you're watching, hey, look, I know we're controversial figures right now on the internet. We can't be in the matrix, in the mainstream. But one day, if the day is saved and these laws change, we can one day be allowed to participate in society. I would love to be your brand ambassador. Okay, Adidas. I'd like to sell Adidas merch. Hoodies, sneakers, suits, formal suits. Yeah, that at least that's my thingy. Those are my aspirations. Yeah, a lot of these Americans, the most prominent figures in the world are Americans, and I just wanted to show the world that, you know, South Africans, we have some skin in the game as well. We're good for it. If America falls, South Africa is the last dark horse who's willing to challenge Israel. Our government is willing to challenge Israel. Not the current ruling party, but the Democratic Alliance. Steenhuisen 2024. Okay. But yeah, if you've been watching this far, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, the Matrix has you. Don't fall for the psyops. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers. How do I end this? How do I end the stream?